Okay, Phil, I pass it on to you.
All right, awesome. Welcome everyone. My name is Phil. I'm so excited to be here with you all. I'm the partnership manager for Engineer for the Week, and I'm excited to share with you a little bit about Engineer for the Week and talk to you about our projects that we have available for you all to think about potentially facilitating at your sites. So I'm going to share my screen. Can you all see my screen here?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, so a quick program overview. Engineer for the Week, we believe in a world where all learners have equitable access and opportunities to build their futures. And the way we do that is we support historically underrepresented learners to explore engineering, develop computer science skills, and gain awareness of different career paths. All right, so far we've reached 16,000 learners across 700 organizations and schools in 48 states and 13 countries. So that's a little bit about our program. And before I talk about the facilitators themselves, I want to pass it over to our facilitator ambassadors who are going to be talking about our program. And so we have 4 facilitator ambassadors. We have Kayla, who will be our moderator today. We have Terrance, who is also a facilitator ambassador for EFTW. We have Jonah, who is also a facilitator ambassador, and Brian. So I'm going to pass it over to Kayla. Kayla will be our moderator, and take it away.
Thank you, Phil. It's so good to see everybody here. Thanks for joining us today. So good to see familiar faces and some new faces. And I wish we were in person, but we will do what we can here. So I'm going to start with Terrance today. And Terrance is going to talk to us a little bit about his project and also introduce a student of his via video. So can you just tell us a little bit about the project that your student worked on, Terrance?
Yes. So the project that they worked on is known as the Hack Clubhouse Academia Bot. The goal of it was to actually help high school counselors and high school teachers be able to better get information to their students, like on demand, in regards to like scholarships, financial aid, even like, homework assignments, things of that nature.
Awesome, thank you. So this was a Chatbot for Change project. I actually took a quick look at it and I just immediately realized that our students here in Salt Lake could use something like that as well. So that was really cool. Can you tell us a little bit more about what went into creating the project? Like as you saw your students working on it, how those roles played out, things like that.
Yeah, so essentially, the makeup of our team, we had one teammate that we had one learner that's really talented and passionate about coding. They even were a little excited to start looking into how to start implementing the AI to the bot in Chat Fuel. We had someone else that was also like, a supporting coder. And then we had, 2 individuals that was more so good at like, handling the organization, the flow of the flow of the chatbot, but also the whole meaning behind it. Because the one participant, name is Joshua for short, they had a passion in like wanting to focus on mental health. And they understood that like, there's only so many high school counselors in a school. So to support and help their mental health and them being able to even be able to support and help all the students at once, they knew that there would be like challenges and barriers. So that's really the mission of the chatbot, is to help take off some of that workload and be in support of the students and everyone.
That's very cool. Did you see any perspectives change for the students when it comes to like engineering, like the idea behind engineering? Did that change over time with the project?
Yes. Because of course, when we first, typically when we do projects, the main focus is how does this project correlate to anything that you're interested when it comes to like the future like jobs that you're interested in. And one of our learners, they have a mission to actually they want to have their own like beauty salon, parlor, have nail techs and things of that nature. And the question is like, well, how could this support me? How can this help me? And and eventually they started to realize, and through our conversations of like, well, let's say when you first start out, you may not have the funds right away to be able to employ like someone to manage the front desk for you. Well, if you know how to operate a chatbot, that saves you that time, that money, and you can still go ahead and employ someone. So no one should be afraid of a chatbot taking someone's job at that point. It's like, I know that's still their mission, their goal to employ people. So that's that happy medium. And a lot of people have started clicking for them. Some of them are interested in doing content creation, going in social media, and letting them know like, hey, if you have certain type of like page, you can't get to everybody, but if you have chatbots, you know how to operate a chatbot, it can answer your fans, your followers, and then also just learning how to manage anything that's supposed to respond in the chat to everyone. So knowing how to make conversations.
That's very cool. That's an amazing connection there with the beauty salon. I really liked that. I have one more question for you, and then I'd love to turn it over to the video if that's okay.
Oh yeah.
How can you share with us how you supported the students as a facilitator during this project?
So I would say the way that I really that I supported them pretty much was just like, I want to say being vulnerable and telling them like, I'm not going to have, every single answer on how to utilize Chat Fuel, because, Chat Fuel was the software that we use to go ahead and create the chat bots in the first place. So, being vulnerable, explaining to them was like, hey, I don't use Chat Fuel all the time, everything like that. Let's go ahead and like still dive in together. Trust me, we're going to go ahead and be able to move forward. Helping them being able to, work on like spelling errors, helping putting together a doc so everyone can pretty much see and show them how they can go ahead and manage their tasks and see like who's completed what, to try and meet those deadlines. And then we have that final product. Putting on music too while we're working is a big thing. I think I should make it clear that while working on this project, we did it virtually. So making sure that there was music, there was, good energy, good vibes, letting them be able to share memes once in a while to laugh and talk, icebreakers, check-ins, all of that.
Awesome. And your video is with Miles, is that right?
What? Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Phil, are you able to pull that video up? Awesome.
Yeah.
So we're going to meet Miles right now to hear Miles actually talk about their project.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to share my screen and we'll hit play.
Hey Miles, I'm so glad that you made the time to go ahead and share your experience being part of the EFTW team at the Howard Area Clubhouse program, where you all made the Hack Clubhouse Academia bot. So as you know, and as we all know, a lot of people are afraid of AI and technology taking away our jobs and things of that nature. But I think it was safe to say you all's hearts were in the place of doing what technology is really supposed to do, is to help make life and jobs easier. Who would you say So who would you say that that this chatbot actually helped in regards to their jobs?
In regards to their jobs, this chatbot helped high school teachers and high school counselors.
Okay. And in what way would you say it helped them? Like, can you expand upon that?
Help them give their students the information they needed to apply for financial aid, small business grants, trade schools, a college that they wanted to go to, and yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much it.
Now, if they didn't want to go to a college or a trade school, they're like, that's not really my thing or my goal afterwards. What is something else that you all aimed for them to be able to apply for that the chatbot offers?
Maybe like giving them a skill,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember that too.
like coding or cosmetology.
Yeah.
Whether it may be art, if you're into that, or
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I remember there was those tutorial videos. There was those tutorial videos.
Yep.
So, I guess the next question, the next question that everybody is wanting to know in this panel is, what exactly went into creating this project? Like,
Yeah. Okay, so there are two groups which the learners had to break up into. The coders, and then the people who gave information. The people who gave information would write down their teachers, like, what their teacher would be giving information on. And then we'd have to, like, make sure all of their information was valid and their scholarships were real and not fake. And that the link actually sent you to a scholarship. And then the coders would have to code all of that in, making sure that everything was working and the AI was properly functioning. And yeah.
Now you were. I remember you being the lead coder on that. Coder on that project. So when you mentioned the teachers, go ahead, tell us exactly how did we get the teachers? How did we get the teachers?
So with the teachers, we actually went we went to everyone in our group and we like went in and asked them like what they wanted to do when they grew up, or like what they wanted to be, and like we'd give them like a teacher role, and then they'd like be like this is like their hobby or like what they want to do on the side, and they'd like give scholarships for that specific thing.
Oh, you mean that they would share the interest of what they had, and then they would look for the scholarships in connection to that.
They'd share the interest of what they wanted to do in life and like look for scholarships and stuff that could help other people who have the similar interests and aspire to be either a nail artist or an artist or a coder.
Right. Now I remember you were a teacher. Well, now what was the subject that you chose, and what was the
computer?
Yeah, you chose to be the computer science teacher, and then what did you pick as the extracurricular activity? What did you do?
Coding.
How many scholarships did you provide for your students if they wanted to look you up?
Like 4.
4 of them. Okay.
They were all like coding boot camp.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay, so that should give you a quick introduction into chatbots for change. Before I turn it back to Kayla, I also want to just provide you all with some very quick context in terms of what this might look like. So just give me one moment while I share my screen one more time. This was proving to be more difficult than I thought it was going to be. Okay, here we go. And chatbots for change. Here we go. Okay. So the 2 projects that we're talking about here are Play for Impact and Chatbots for Change. Miles was talking about Chatbots for Change, which is a project that, if you look at the diagram on the right, they are creating a Facebook chatbot. And so we will start with a message to that chatbot. And the Hack 3 area chatbot was talking about academics in particular. The chatbot that you see here on the screen is talking about Save the Planet. So the name Chatbots for Change, it talks about talking about a topic or informing the user about a topic that is important that they should have this information about. So here, the Save the Planet bot is informing the user about endangered species, deforestation, animals that are out in the wilderness that don't have the protections necessary to continue on in their habitats. So that is a chatbot. Additionally, we have Play for Impact, which you'll also hear about. And this is where they're going to be creating a game. And the game here, when we talk about impact, is giving the users an opportunity to understand more about a social issue through playing the game. So if you take a look at the Save the Planet game here, the EFTW icon is avoiding pollution and is also avoiding greenhouse gases with the car and other pollutants to get to save the planet over at the end of the maze. So that is sort of the gist of our projects and what you'll be hearing a little bit more from our facilitators. So I'll pass it back to you, Kayla, and then we can continue on with our panel.
Sorry about that. I had trouble unmuting for a second. Awesome. We are going to move on to Brian, if you're ready, Brian. We're going to talk to you about your project. Can you just give us some brief context about what your project was with your youth?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Kayla. First of all, I want to say hello to everyone. There are many known faces here and many unknown faces, so I would love to meet someone face-to-face in person. I would love 1, 2, or 3 people to say hello, because if not, I feel that, I don't know. I'm talking, hello.
Hey, Brian.
Hola, Us. Hi. Hola, Phil. Hola, hey, Matt.
Hello.
Hi.
Good to
Hi,
see you,
Jeff.
bro.
Yeah, you too, Matt. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hello.
Now, this is amazing. I kind of, how do you say, I'm getting emotional because we meet every year in person. And last year we couldn't meet, and this year we are here. So, hola, Marlene. Hi, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for saying hello. Yeah, really, I'm kind of getting emotional here. First of all, I'm going to take just 1 minute because I want to tell you how did I met this program, the Engineer for the Week program. And in fact, it was at an annual conference. I think it was in, I don't remember, 3 years ago. Don't remember, where was it? Pittsburgh or something like that. And we had this fair where there are many different stands there, and I met this Engineer for the Week program. And that's where it all started. And then I participated as a facilitator, as you can participate now. And I participated for 2 years, and now I'm here as an ambassador to guide you, to help you for everything you need. I'm here with Shona, Terrance, and Kayla, and of course Phil and all the staff there to help you. Okay, about our program, our project. Sorry, can I share my screen here? Okay, can you see my screen here? Okay, feel free, please, to ask, to stop me, to say whatever you want to say, whatever comes to your mind, please. We made this game last year. It was all virtual, yeah. We had all our meetings virtually. It's called Esperanza. In English, it means hope, and it's also a name. I think in English, it's also a name for a girl mostly. Hope. So this game is about domestic violence, and I don't know if this is a word in English, but in Spanish is micromachismo. Yeah, it's a word in English. I mean, it's like the machismo, but in all these small, in all this, you can find this machismo in all the small things in life. You know, when a boyfriend tells a girlfriend that she can't go out with that clothes, and so there's someone at the chat. Microaggressions, yeah, microaggressions, but focus on gender issues, you know. So this game was made entirely virtual, and it's like a kind of a graphic adventure. I'm a very fan of Monkey Island. You are old enough to know Monkey Island, I think. So it's kind of the Monkey Island. And here, what you have to do, I don't know if you can listen here, but let me silence this. Silence. Okay. This is about a girl that has to go out. Yeah, toxic masculinity. A girl that has to go out from her house. She lives with his boyfriend, and he doesn't let her out because of many things. First of all, she's not dressed accurate. So he tells her that she has to change her clothes. Then he asks her, she has to tell him all the boys, all the males that are going to be on the party that she's going. And the third thing she has to do is she has to like clean the house. In fact, what she has to do is she has to order the books on the library there. So you are. I will share this link with you. It's in Spanish. So let me share the link with you over there. I won't play this game, but I want to know that this was very interesting because here they were 2 boys and 2 girls. And one of the boys, for example, was amazing at drawing, but he didn't have that many coding skills. So he learned the basics of coding, but all the team was a great team because he made all these amazing graphics. Look, the graphics are amazing. He didn't make the backgrounds that are also very good, but he made all these, when the girl changes the clothes, because she had to change her clothes. So she made all the graphics. I will stop sharing. Okay. So yeah, Kayla, sorry.
No, that's okay. No, that's great. I think that's so cool to incorporate that art piece into it for someone who might not be as comfortable with the coding, but is passionate about drawing. I was going to ask if that was hand drawn. That was very impressive. That's awesome. Could you tell us more about how, can you take us behind the scenes, how the group worked together a little bit more?
How the group got together?
How they worked together, what roles they played. It seems like there was an art person. What were some of the other parts to it?
Yeah, there was a very interesting example on how to work with low connectivity, because one of the students, she was a girl, and she was very into this issue. In fact, she was the one who said, "Why don't we make a game about this?" But she had to share the computer with 2 sisters. She had 2 sisters, so they share one computer. So it was kind of complicated for her to participate. So in fact, she was the one who drew the backgrounds, because every time we met, we did like this, like a video conference it was in Google Meet actually, and she joined by phone, because Google Meet you can join by phone. So she joined by phone. She was at home or she was at the bus, and she joined by phone. And she was very enthusiastic about the issue, but she wasn't able so much to code because she had only one computer. So what she did, as you saw, all the backgrounds are drawn in paper. So she drew on paper, and then she took a photo of those backgrounds, and she sent the backgrounds to the rest of the team. So that way she could participate on the on all the narrative of the game, but also she made the backgrounds. And she practiced coding, but I don't know, maybe at night when everyone was asleep and she was able to access the computer. I have a question. How long did it take to complete? We used to meet once a week. At the beginning it was for 60 minutes, but then we realized that teenagers had a lot of homework from school and lots of Zoom and video conferences, so we didn't want them to get burned. So it was max 45 minutes once a week, and it took like 1.5 months or 2 months, something like that. Yeah, of course, some week at the end, we were close to the deadline. We met a few more times, but yeah, it took like 1.5 months.
That's amazing. Yeah, that is that helps to know how you worked on that virtually too. For those of us who are, for people who are still virtual, I remember doing my Play for Impact project virtually, and sometimes kids were in the car, sometimes they were just like under their covers, like hiding, and yeah, it's definitely a challenge. So I like that you were able to keep her involved, even though she wasn't always able to access the computer. That's awesome.
Yes, and here, sorry, Kayla, I want to mention that something that I'm sure you all know, but when students work on something that they really care about, they find the moment and the times and like a gap on their schedule to work on the project. And I think I want to mention this. It's very important to narrow the issue, because at the beginning, you are all coordinators and you know this. When you ask about, okay, what do you want to make a game about? What issue do you see? They will say, I mean, COVID, of course, COVID, and of course it's an issue. Climate change and bullying. Those are the main issues for the entire world. I agree, I totally agree. But what I think is that we as facilitators have to narrow the issue so it can be really accurate on something that they really care about. I'm not saying that they do not care about climate change, but what about the climate change on a daily basis for their community? What can they change on their community? How does bullying affect them, their friends, their school? So yeah, if you narrow it down to a very personal issue for them, they will find a way and the moment to create and to participate and to work on the project.
Sorry, that's great. Yeah, because climate change can mean so many different things. So it's so great to narrow it down. I just want to ask you one more question before we move on to Jonah and David. What were some of the challenges that, I mean, it sounds like, like sharing a computer was a challenge. Were there other challenges as they were working on this project that your group had?
Yeah. Well, first of all, connectivity and the virtual meetings. Well, connectivity, I already talked about this. And the virtual meetings, they are burned out, you say? Yeah, because they have many homework, and now we are more organized. But last year, when the pandemic started, the schools started to give them homework. So I really wanted them to feel the difference between this. This was not a homework. This was a project that they were working on. So that was an issue for sure. And also the specific topic that we addressed here is that we had, as I said, we had 2 girls and 2 guys, 2 boys and 2 girls. The girls were very into the subject, and they were how do you say it? When they take the flag, they were like the leaders of the project, because they women know so much than us, than the males, of all these subjects, because here we are just learning and supporting women. Because they know so much, because they've lived all their life with all these problems that years ago us, the males, didn't even knew or even realize about these problems. So I had to be all eyes and ears and just listen to them. And the guys were they were very polite and smooth, because they didn't want it to say something that it was not correct, because they felt no, I'm a male, and well, this gender issue is big, but that happened. But my girl students were amazing because they were kind of leading the project. They were leading the project, and they were kind of teaching the male guys, come on guys, ask whatever you want. This is a safe place. And for me, as a facilitator, I had an assistant coordinator with me. She was a girl. And our work was to make this a very, very safe place for these 4 members to talk and to feel confident, and to feel confident about asking and about saying something, and maybe what they say was wrong and it's okay. So yeah, that was very a very beautiful challenge for me.
That's great. Thanks, Brian, for sharing. I definitely love to hear that the girls were taking the lead. And thank you so much for sharing your project with us.
My pleasure.
I'm going to move into talking to Jonah and David about their project. I think David is here somewhere on this video call. And so I'd love to just kind of talk to you both about your experiences working on your project. So if you could just start by telling us about your project, that would be great.
Thank you, Kayla. So hi, everyone. Same as Brian, it's a mix of emotions to see so loved faces. I'm happy to see you here and see you well. And I miss you a lot, guys. I have to say that. And it's great to see you today. So I'm Jonathan. I'm from Costa Rica. I am the coordinator of Casa de la Juventud Mora. And I have been involved with EFTW since 2 years ago, I think. And this year I had the opportunity to be and collaborate as an ambassador of this program. And today I am joined by David, which is a member of our Clubhouse. And I have to say, sometimes he's my English teacher too. So I'm evaluated right now. So, and he dropped the school today to be here. So no, I'm joking. He's totally fine. So we have the opportunity to talk with him, to have a little chat about the project that we created last year. And so David, welcome. And so we want to hear about the project, about you, about how you feel. So this space is for you. So start what you want.
Well, thank you. Hi, hi everyone. So basically, I make music in the Clubhouse usually with Jonathan, but well, this is my main. Okay, sorry, I'm a little nervous. But yeah, okay. So that's what I did in this project. I made music. It was a big challenge for me since I'm not used to making music for video games. I'm into electronic music. That's what I do. But it was a great opportunity. So I did it. It was really nice working with Jonathan and the team, even though it was a little difficult, meeting online. We didn't have much time. We had school, we had a lot of things to do, but everything was great. So even though we had this issues with the time, it was really short time. That's what I think was most difficult. So sorry, I'm a little nervous again. I haven't spoken to such a big audience in a while. I'm sorry.
What do you think if we show a little bit about the video and then we can explain a little bit about it? So I'm going to share my screen and you can please come in with your thoughts and maybe with some highlights that you want to share. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So I'm going to share my screen right now. I hope this works because it's always me. Okay. Okay, so can you see that? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So this is Polar Challenge. This is the game that we created last year, and it is about a mommy bear. So she has to rescue his baby bear, and this is because you know, the melting of glaciers, and so she has like a time to make it. So before that, you have to answer some. Oh, sorry. Let me. Oh. So you have to answer questions before you get, you know, the baby.
We can't listen you, Jonah.
So I can do it, but the idea of, you know, to present a social issue, as Brian explained, and in a very particular way. So this is a very challenging project, because we have to, as David said, you know, to fit all the schedules, and to maybe have some roles on that. For example, David is, you know, quite good making music, and he created the music of this game. And then we have another member who create, you know, make the coding, another to make the characters, you know, like illustration. So that's the importance of this kind of program, because it it allows us to you know, to encourage our members to present their talents in a very particular product. I know we all are used to Scratch, you know, because we are a relation with Scratch since, I think, always, and in some way we can explore this in our Clubhouse, but this is a very new way to motivate the kids, and also to present a product with Scratch, which is a highlight of EFTW. I mean, sometimes we just stay on the exploring stage, and this is a way to go beyond that. Also, it's a way to expand our network, our community, because it's not only working with Clubhouse, it's working with a lot of after-school programs, and also for schools. So David, tell us about what do you think about your music talents, and how this helped to create this program. So what do you think? Because I know you know, you make hip hop and electronic music, and this kind to be a challenge for you. How do you feel about that?
Well, it's a really big challenge. You know, I make electronic music, mostly big room house, progressive house, those genres. So like trying to make this kind of music, which is like 8-bit or chiptune, it's really difficult for me, since I've been in a comfort zone for so many years making the genres of music that I like, and I feel good making them, because that's easy for me. But you know, it's a big challenge, but everything was great. I mean, like, I did my best in I think it was like a day or two. I'm not really sure how much time was it, but yeah, that's basically it. And well, and another thing, I think that this project is great because we are addressing the climate change, which is a huge issue at the moment. And the difference with like commercial or regular games is that you play them, but there's not a good message behind the game. You are not like I don't even know how to explain it, but yeah, you get me. Like, climate change is a huge issue, and this project was amazing. Working with Jonathan, working with the team, great communication in a short time. So yeah, that's basically.
So
Can I ask something, Shona, to David?
Yeah.
Sure.
Hi, David. Hola.
Hi, Ray.
We met at the Teen Summit. Okay.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, right? Regarding your expertise, that is the music, right? The music production. How did the topic, the issue that was the climate change, affected the way you had to focus on this song? You know? Do you get the question? Sorry.
Yeah.
You speak better English than me.
Thanks. Well, I think I tried my best to make a dramatic melody and chords to try to address the issue, since, you know, I can't really express much of an issue in a song, but I did my best. I tried to do like a dramatic melody, and I think that's what could help to give like the ambience of a problem, like drama, basically. I don't know how, but like what else to say, because that was basically it.
No, it's great because you did a great job. I mean, I can feel the drama there in the song.
how did this game affect your real life, David? I mean, after create this, do you are more focused on this subject, or do you change something that you make daily about you know, how to contribute to this issue, besides the creative the project?
Well, it's about being conscious about climate change, because mostly we don't think about it. We don't think about the climate change in our daily life and what things affected. But after the project, I started thinking about the things I did, like my, I don't know, everyday things that can affect the climate change. I mean, like little things, but still they can affect in the larger scale when there are more people doing them. But yeah, it's more about being conscious about it. That's basically it.
I have a last question for you, because it's very interesting to hear that. So we in the Clubhouse hear all the time that in schools they have a Scratch, for example. How do you feel the difference between this kind of learning model in school with Scratch, and how do you feel that we work with this program at the Clubhouse?
Of course, yeah, great question. I've said it my entire life since I started the Clubhouse. The Clubhouse is completely different to school. You know, in school you were forced to learn things like you need to do this, you need to do that. In the Clubhouse, you do basically whatever you want to. It's like a free place to learn your favorite subject. So in this case with Scratch, yeah, I know that some schools teach Scratch, but it's like, okay, you need to learn how to do this. That's it. It doesn't go further. Instead, in the Clubhouse, it addresses like problematics, for example, the climate change in this case. So I guess that the Clubhouse is like more targeted to address issues about our life, about the planet, about the environment. And that's basically the difference.
Okay. Well, I have to thank you, David, because I mean, you did great today. It has been always a pleasure to hear you and to learn from you. I have to say that because I do it every day. And I think if you agree, if anyone have more questions for you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you being here. We love to hear from the youth who actually work on these projects. But yeah, I think we have a little bit of time, if you're okay with it, Phil, to open it up to everybody. If anybody has any questions for any of our panelists today. Or for David.
I just wanted to say, David, I think I've met you at Teen Summit, and I was a chaperone of yours, so it's great to see you here again.
Yeah, hi, Gustavo. Yeah, it's been a while. So anyone has any questions for me or for Jonathan?
I had a question for David. I wanted to know, were you able to do all the music in Scratch itself, or did you import the music from a program that you use personally?
Oh, great question. Yes, I make music on FL Studio, so yeah, it's another program. But yeah, well, it's all original music, no loops, no nothing. It's all my creation.
Hey, David, man, that
Yeah,
music was super dope, and it really did convey that idea that you were saying, like, to bring the drama or the urgency out, and being able to use tones and sounds to do that was really well executed. So good job. My question is for all three of you guys, Jonathan, Brian, David. When you're making these projects that have this kind of like basis of a social issue or problem that you want to address with your art and your technology, can you guys share anything about your process for like working as a group to decide on? I know, Brian, you made a really good point about narrowing it down to like a micro story that you can actually manageably tell. But like, what's the process for kind of like having a group discussion and bringing out what the ideas that matter to the members, you know, like getting to that small story? Can you guys share anything about your process for arriving at that place?
Yeah, it's the most challenging thing of our work, I think. I have a small secret that sometimes when they are blank, you know, or they are blocked, they don't know what to say. There's always this. Do you know the SDG the United Nations SDG? Have you ever heard about them? It's the Sustainable Development Goals. Is something that the United Nations said that are, I think it's 17 issues that the humanity has to face for the next 10 years. It's like zero hunger, no poverty, or inequality. Well, I don't remember them in English, but that's a great guide for me as a facilitator. First that, then I have some tricks or activities. For example, I ask them if they read something at the newspaper today or yesterday that they were shocked about, because if you read something at the newspaper, it's supposed to happen on your community or at your city. So maybe you read about a car accident, for example, and maybe they have been reading lots of articles about car accident. So they start to realize that the accident that there are many accidents. So yeah, the United Nations SDG action is like a high level guide for me. I don't usually share that with my students. It's for me as a guide. Then this newspaper activity, like an icebreaker or a question, and yeah, maybe, or another question is if something happened to them that day when we are meeting that they didn't they weren't that they felt uncomfortable because it hasn't got to be a specific issue, you know. Maybe they say, yeah, I was walking coming back to my house and something happened, I don't know, a tree fall, I don't know. And then from there we can get to maybe climate change on their city, because they can realize, for example, I don't know, maybe there are no lots of trees on their community, and maybe that's a narrow issue. The amount of trees on their neighborhood, maybe. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
In my case, I have to say that stories are very powerful. So we focus on personal stories of our members, something that happened or something that they watch on TV or read, and they want to, contribute something for the community. And this is something that I really appreciate of this generation, that they really want to contribute to the community, and this is a way to do that. So we focus on that, and I think one of the highlights of EFTW is, in our case, that it has a deadline, and you have to create something powerful in a short time, and you have to finish that. Because sometimes we have scratch and we, have fun, explore, but this is to create something that will be presented to the community, and that sometimes it's very motivating for the kids. And sometimes we are afraid about deadlines and we think about the school and the pressure and those kind of things. But in our case, it works really well because we have many projects that stay on work in process. And this really, like, okay, you can present that as a product. So in our case, we focus on stories, mostly also, in the news, and if something is really really involved with something, with some particular subject, so we create a project for EFTW or for global reach or something like that. So it's been a great experience for us for that. So.
Thank you so much, Jonah. I do want to take a chance to talk to you all about what some of the next steps are and some other cool features about the program. So I'm going to share my screen one last time, I promise. We have about 7 minutes left, so I'm going to try to speed this up. All right, so quickly, as you all know, both of our projects, Play for Impact and Chatbots for Change, are centered around giving students an opportunity to explore the world of engineering. Well, I firmly believe that learners sort of create their outline for their lives based on what they see as they grow up. And so being able to see engineering will allow them to see it as an option. And so we not only do this through our programming, but we also do this through a unique opportunity called Tech Connections, where we have a Facebook engineer visit with learners for 45 minutes to talk about the career of engineering, what they do at Facebook or even at large. So it's a really awesome opportunity to dive a little bit deeper into what engineering could possibly do for a learner, right? David talked about using music through his coding experience, which is awesome because that's one way that you can incorporate your passion through technology and engineering. Lastly, Play for Impact, Chatbots for Change, we're talking about social good, right? Well, in the awards that learners get, they also have an opportunity to pay it forward. The award for EFTW, once you submit a project to us at the end of our season, you will get the opportunity to donate $1,000 to a nonprofit of your choice, you and your learners. That, I think, is an incredible opportunity to teach learners how to pay it forward, how to inspire change in your community through philanthropy. Next, if you're wondering, how do I get involved in this program? I'm glad you asked. Facilitators, again, come from all backgrounds. And as you know, we have facilitators from Clubhouse Network and all the Clubhouses. And so we'd love to have you. But facilitators could also be teachers. They could also be parents. And so we have very few criteria to be a facilitator. All you need to do is be at least 18 years or older. You need to have any number of learners between the ages of 11 and 18 for Play for Impact. For Chatbots for Change, it's a little bit older. You'll need to be able to budget at least 15 hours to implement the program. There is some prep time also. Access to the internet, which I assume all of you have since you're here. And then you'll be choosing between the two projects. And last but not least, you'll also need to believe that all learners should have equal opportunities to build their futures. So when is EFTW? When do we have this program? When can you register? We typically have the sprints or the seasons in the fall or the spring, but check our website, eftw.fb.com. We'd love for you to register. And we'd also, if you have any questions specifically about the program, we'd love for you to reach out to us and leverage our Contact Us form. So again, our website is engineerfortheweek, one word, .fb.com. And we'd love to answer your questions. We'd love to hear from you. And obviously, reach out to Jonah, reach out to Brian or Kayla or Terrence or David if you have any questions about the program and just want to hear more about their experience. Thank you so much to the Clubhouse Network. Thank you, Jeff, for your help. Thank you, Jason, for giving us tech support. Appreciate all of you for being here and listening to what we had to present today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. And I think you know where to find us because we are all Clubhouse coordinators. So you can have our emails, in the Clubhouse Connect, in the village, everywhere. So you'll know where to find us.
All
Great
right,
work,
thank
yo.
you, everybody. Terrific presentation. All right, enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you, everybody.
Nice to see you all.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.